And welcome back to Top Cheddar Sports, another special episode, or whatever you want to call it, here. What we're going to be
Exclusive
doing
content.
today, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, is we are going to be drafting ourselves some fantasy basketball teams using all characters from The Office, which is one of our favorite TV shows here.
That's right, NBA is back in season or about to be, so while all the actual content is happening on the court, we want our own fantasy draft to get as close as we can to the action.
Absolutely. So let's start off with our team names. I'll let you list your team name first. What are you going with?
So our city is to be determined by whoever wants us the most.
Sure.
But we are going to be the so-and-so Golden Face.
The Golden Face. Okay. Little threat level midnight throwback there. My team name, we are going to be the Cornell Here Come Troubles. The Here Comes Treble. Alrighty. So, to determine a draft order, Victor, I'm going to ask you just one trivia question here. You get it right, you get first pick. You get it wrong, I get first pick. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. Jim and Pam, or what?
Video. I need a new marker.
All right. So how we're going to determine the draft order, Victor, is I'm going to ask you a trivia question. Okay.
Okay.
You get it right, you'll get first pick. You get it wrong, I'll get first pick.
Okay.
Fair? Agreed? All right.
Agreed.
So
Now
in
listen
the
up,
episode that Jim and Pam got married,
Yeah.
okay, Jim mentioned that marrying her in the church, no, I'm sorry, on the Maid of the Mist was plan C. What did he say was plan A? Stumped him.
I'm gonna have to pass on this.
It was marrying her a long, long time ago. All right. So that will
Credit
leave
to you, Jim.
first pick to me. Now, if you can't, hopefully you can read all these names. If you can't, we apologize, but we'll talk about them anyways. And we know we're missing a lot of characters because there's a lot of characters to the 9 seasons the show ran. But this is the best, and you can draft off the board. So
Yes.
if you think of somebody not on this board that you want on your team, by all means.
We covered all
Go
the
for it.
foundation along with a
Yes.
lot of the extra characters again.
That made an
We can-
impact, right?
Right.
And then the positions we're drafting here, you're going to draft a GM for your team. You're going to draft your
Gotta know
team's
how to
coach. Your starting five, so point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. And then 2 bench pieces, so your top 2 bench guys to bring in late in the game when your starters need a rest. All right?
Absolutely.
So, I get the first pick in this draft. I gotta say, I was not expecting to have first pick, so I'm not quite sure where I want to go with this. But you know what? I think with the first pick in the draft, I'm gonna select James Halpert, Jim, who put on a clinic in the actual basketball episode of The Office. And I'm going to place Jim in here as my point guard. He showed off those great hands in that episode.
He did.
He really has good handles. So we, with Here Comes Trouble, are very proud to select Jim Halpert
Not gonna lie.
with the first pick.
I was kind of expecting to be able to get Jim in this draft, hence where the team name came from. So I really messed that one up. But,
Yeah, well, should have just gotten that trivia question right.
I know. Could have been a whole different ballgame here. So, as I saw Jim being the clear number 1 off the board, we're gonna go with our number 2 option.
Okay.
We're gonna go with Daryl Philippin.
Daryl Philbin. Off the board. I like it. That's a good pick.
Now,
I was eyeing him up.
He clearly.
Not gonna lie. I was hoping he would fall.
Now, Jim, in my mind, the better partner of the two, but they have their whole sports business,
That's true.
and he knows the game. He can play the game. We're gonna put him. Where do we want to put you? We're gonna put you at power forward.
Daryl Philbin lines up at power forward. That is a good Good spot. Good pick, sir. Good
Thank you,
pick.
sir.
Let me take a look at my draft notes. Mm-hmm. All right. With the next pick in the 2019 TopCheddar office draft, Here Comes
NBA
Treble
edition.
is proud to select D'Angelo Vickers. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Brett, D'Angelo claimed he could dunk and freaking almost died and had to be hospitalized, and that was the last we ever saw of him. Well, I'm proud to say he is fully recovered, and I like that he has no fear to pull off that dunk. He did show some good range on his mini hoop in his office. I think he has a good shot. So, D'Angelo Vickers, we are going to slide you in as our shooting guard. And welcome to Here Comes Trouble. Your pick. And I ran out of room writing that. But we all know who it is. To you, sir.
Okay. That's a great pick.
Thank you.
I
Thank
need
you.
to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
Now with this, leads to my second round pick. Now, when you are on the court, talent is one thing. So you need talent on your team. But to also have that intimidation factor, I need somebody who's going to go out there, give 100% to the point that the other team is afraid to play against him. They don't want to line up against him.
Not sure where he's going with
We're
this.
going to go with Charles Minor.
Charles Minor. I hardly know her. Where are you placing him at? Golden face.
Should have painted my face for this. This would be
You
great.
should have painted your face gold instead of just put on the bandana.
Yeah.
Still like it though. It's a good pick.
We're going to go with him as small forward.
Small forward. Charles Minor. Alrighty. Okay.
Not what you were expecting?
I was not expecting that, and now I'm a little shook. Okay. I think with my next pick, in order to win, you need a good leader. You need the right coach to lead your team. So I know it might be early, but with this third pick, I'm going to go coach. And now I see a lot of good coach candidates on the board. But there's one that sticks out to me because he's a personable guy. He invented his own machine that he then sold to the government for millions of dollars. Suck it. I am going with David Wallace as my head coach of this team. He's got a great relationship with Jim.
Does.
Doesn't know D'Angelo, but you know what? I'm sure he can get along with whoever.
That's solid.
David Wallace is leading Here Comes Trouble to victory.
It's a good coach you got there.
Thank you. I think so too. It was a tough call though. I will say it was a tough call.
It was. This draft is actually already tougher than I thought.
This draft, it is tough to make. You want to get the right pieces to fit in here.
And because I want a little more depth on the court, but I do have in mind my upper management figures of this team.
Okay.
Before he goes off the board, we're gonna go with Roy Anderson.
Roy and Daryl reunited on the court.
We've seen their talent.
Oh, wow.
We've seen their talent together.
Crap.
I don't necessarily want to line him up against Jim. That's not always the best move. We've seen that happen, so we're gonna line him up right against D'Angelo.
At shooting guard. All
Shooting
right. That's a solid selection, Victor. Very solid. Wow. Where do I go from here? Do I take a guy like Gabe, who's tall, but can't do much else?
Who's tall? That's it.
He is tall. Now, I want a tough guy for the trenches here. I still need my power forward and my center. So this pick, we're going to address one of those two needs. And we're going to take a bigger guy. Not sure.
I think I see where this is
Not
going.
sure if there's offensive upside there. But he is a veteran. He's experienced. He manages. I'm sure he'll manage the game well because he's managed his own company very well so far. So we will be taking Bob Vance Refrigeration. And we're going to slot him right in at power forward here.
Against Daryl.
To line up against Daryl. Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration.
It's a good pick.
Over to you, Victor.
Good pick.
Thank you, sir. Bob Vance. Vance Refrigeration.
Now, I mentioned before how I was eyeing up that executive management here on my team. You gotta know who to put where, when to let people go, when to bring new pieces in. And I don't see many people in the game being a better GM than Mr. Joe Bennett.
Joe Bennett. Solid pick. Very solid pick. Successfully ran Sabre and then sold it to Robert California for a nice profit. Very solid selection. The first general manager goes. All right.
She's going to decide what coach we bring in next.
It's getting tricky. I need a small forward, a center, a GM, and then my bench pieces still.
We've actually mostly gone for opposite pieces, so this is...
We have. This is not easy, folks. This is not easy. You may be thinking it's easy watching this, like there's an obvious choice on the board. But I'm not seeing. Okay. I think with my next pick, I'm going to take this guy only because, okay, he has a good shot.
I feel like if you have to defend it already, it might not be the best pick. But
He has a good shot. I worry about the stamina. I worry about the hustle. But I'm gonna have some good bench pieces, so we won't really have to worry about it. But Mr. Kevin Malone, you're my small forward, bud.
Great guy to have on the team.
Good locker room presence.
Lost in nutrition in that chili.
He can make chili for the team after the game or before. I'd recommend after. Already a good relationship with our starting point guard. And our coach, who he loves to say hi to.
He does. That's a great pick.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm a little at a loss here. I'm not quite sure what route we want to go next. I'm trying to eye up the rest of my team. You know what? This may be a little bit of a shock, but we're going to go for our point guard here. And we're going to go with somebody who is not afraid to make moves, put herself out there on the court in the spotlight. She does well with the group or when she's thrown in different situations. And we're going to go with Karen in this next pick.
Karen Filippelli. Bold. Lining up against Jim at point guard.
If you think
Some
that won't
bad
get in Jim's head,
blood there. You see, there is the mental aspect of the game that could come into play here. That is a very, very interesting pick. I like it. Wow. That hurts. That actually hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that
I'm
hurts.
sure she's got a nasty shot.
We might be going off the board here with this pick.
Wow.
We might.
30 names, not enough.
We might be going off the board.
This is the first round selection for every team out there in the 30-team league, and you're going off the board.
I'm going off the board, I think.
Okay.
I need a center. All right, there's no getting past that. And I look at the board here. I don't see really any obvious centers.
No.
Or even capable centers at this point in the draft. So I think we're gonna have to go off the board. Do you know who I'm thinking of?
Not at the moment, no.
Do you have a guess?
No.
No? Nothing?
For a second. No, go ahead. I'm about to be blown away by
Now, I don't know if I can draft him because I don't remember his actual name. So I'm going to need your input on this. But he is the sea
Vote at
monster from the warehouse. I believe his name is Greg. Do you know who I'm referring to?
If I say no, does it mean you can't pick him? No, I know who you mean.
It's okay if I can't.
No.
Because
I'll
we
allow.
have everybody's real name. So I feel like and I'm also disappointed in myself as a fan of The Office that I don't actually remember his real name.
I'll allow you to put Sea Monster up there. Without actually feeling like it's
Never
cheating.
mind. I don't even need him anymore. I don't even need him.
Okay.
I'm going to take my first bench piece.
Ooh.
I'm going to step in. I'm going to take my first bench piece. This is purely a locker room move. This guy's going to be able to really relax the team. He's going to be able to provide a little bit of a spark off the bench, but really not much talent on the court, more of a locker room piece to keep the team together. And this is also off the board. Our first bench piece, actually we're going to put him at the second bench piece because he won't get a ton of minutes, is Broccoli Rob.
Broccoli Rob. Okay.
Broccoli Rob. Welcome to Here Comes Treble. Right where he belongs. Right at home in his own a cappella group.
Forgot to circle here.
Yes.
Broccoli Rob.
Broccoli
Okay.
Rob. Well, Here Comes Treble.
Okay.
It's fitting.
Okay. Now, we too are actually going to take a bench piece here.
Okay, another bench piece.
I
Look,
don't
the bench is important.
It is.
The bench
It's
is
all about
important.
that depth.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily want him in my starting lineup, but he can.
But you
keep-
want him on the team.
I do want him on the team.
I understand that.
Not always the best locker room guy. However, he can stay calm in high pressure situations, perhaps when everything is on fire.
Okay.
Just like the Phantom of the Process, he wears the mask while he is on the court. We are taking Dwight Schrute
Oh,
with our next
Dwight
pick.
Kurt Schrute. Wow. Interesting. He showed a little bit of capability in that
I think
basketball game. He showed
I
he
think
showed
he's
some
going to
skills.
be a wild card for the team that most teams won't be ready for, especially Here Comes Trouble.
Well, I think we will be ready for him, but I appreciate the sentiment. It's time to take our general manager. Now, I see 3 candidates that I really like
Okay.
for this. And after interviewing them and taking a look at my notes and corresponding with
Right. You got him on the phone for a
my
quick
ownership
interview.
and
Okay.
everything here, we have come to a decision. So while I do think Jan Levinson would actually make a solid GM, considering she has started her own business, she's worked with many people
A
before,
lot of entrepreneurs on this
and
roster.
she's not afraid to tell people when they're fucking up and just tell it to them straight. She's gotten in many fights. I'm not going to pick her. I'm going to take who I believe is the smartest man on this board, and that is Oscar Martinez to be my general
Oh,
manager.
that is a great move.
Thank you.
Talk about having your salary cap always under control. Oscar Martinez.
The
great
accountant,
pick.
the accounting extraordinaire, Oscar Martinez, and also, like I said, I think he's just a very smart guy. I think he'll do a great job as general manager.
Okay. Starting to get to tough.
We're getting into the depth areas
We
now, for
We
sure.
really are.
For sure. Michael Scott still on the board.
He is.
Mike Scott.
I was
Sixers legend is still on the
Michael
board.
Scott, the regional manager.
The
himself.
regional manager.
And you know
himself.
what? That might actually be worthy.
Although
of a
this
pick
is
right
not
here.
that Mike Scott. This is not our Mike Scott. This is Michael Gary
he's
Scott.
He's the regional manager,
Yes.
not the three.
Big difference.
There
Big
truly is.
Difference.
And he sounds like a great pick here. However, I don't want somebody to be willing to throw the outcome of a game just because he's intimidated when you line up some heavy hitters on the other side. And that's the main reason why he's not going to be my pick right here, actually.
Okay.
And with that,
He's not happy with it.
I'm really struggling with this.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Now, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna shift some pieces around on our team real quick.
Okay.
We're gonna move Roy because he is pretty tall and can handle himself
He's a big guy.
down to center.
He's a big guy. Okay. Oh, okay.
So these two will be flipped right here.
Okay.
And at our shooting guard, we're gonna throw in Andy Bernard.
Andy Bernard at shooting guard.
Talk about a great locker room guy.
The Nard Dog.
He's about to bring the
I
trouble.
question his ability on the court. I do.
He's gonna prove you wrong.
And I also question his allegiance to your team.
I question
Since he is a member of Here Comes Trouble.
I question Jim Halpert's allegiance to your team as he stars as Golden Face.
It's a fair point.
We may be able to work out a trade them. There would
No
have to be
thanks.
other people.
No thanks. Not trading Jim Halpert for a guy that wears sweater vests every day of his life.
You take that back.
He dresses like he's going to brunch all the time.
Tell me who doesn't love brunch. Exactly. Andy Bernard. This team's new shooting guard. We'll make it work. I was actually surprised he made it that long.
I'm down to my last two picks here. I have one more bench spot and my center position still to fill. Obviously not a ton of options here, especially for center, as I was mentioning before. However, I see a man with a ton of potential. Now, we know he only likes individual sports, and he's not really into team sports. However, he is young. They call him the new Jim. And I think he just might realize his potential.
He might.
And turn into a really solid player here. I think
That new Jim pairing could be lethal.
I think what I'll probably do after the draft is over is move Bob Vance down to center, Kevin Malone to power forward, and place Pete Miller as my small forward. But for now, I will take Pete Miller, a.k.a. the new Jim, a.k.a. Plop, as my center.
Plop him on that board.
And Pete Miller, welcome to Here Comes Trouble. I'm very happy with that pick. I was hoping he would fall.
He may have been a better pick than Andy. But I'm not questioning Andy. I have faith in Andy.
I think you should be questioning Andy.
No. Because he may not be the star of this team, but he'll hold his role till the bench comes in.
Angela's still on the board.
Angela is
for your
still on the
coach.
board.
For Kelly, Phyllis, Holly, Carol, Jan, Meredith, Gabe Lewis as head coach.
As opposed to
Shut up about the Suns.
We are going to go with somebody for our other bench spot as opposed to
Taking
coach.
us on the bench. All right, you're taking your coach last. That's
I
a
am taking my coach
bold
last.
choice.
But this is for kind of the reason of right now it's a 2-team draft. And you have your coach, so I'm not worried about losing the coach
Maybe I just
position.
move David Wallace to a bench spot and I take another coach.
Go for it. I encourage it, actually. However,
David Wallace
this pick right here,
can shoot, as we saw.
he's a quiet player. Always lethal, though. Has great locker room chemistry with especially my other bench position. He runs alongside cars for training.
Oh my. Are you really taking who I think you're taking?
I am. We're going to go
Bold.
with Mo Shrew.
Bold.
The sleeper pick of the draft.
Okay, how are you going to even teach Mose the game of basketball?
Most knows basketball.
Oh, does he?
Yes, he
Oh, does he?
The man
Enlighten me.
can run at the pace of a slow-moving car. He has great locker room chemistry with Dwight. All he needs to do is be able to pass with Dwight. Dwight will take the shot. It will go down better than you can ever imagine when they're on that
Look,
court.
if you're confident in that pick, good for you, man. But I don't see it. Mose and Dwight Schrute both get taken. Honestly, I would not have been shocked coming into this if neither was taken. So, good for you. Stay bold. So, with my last pick
You're a little sexist over
in the draft, yeah, I don't have a female. I know, and because you took honestly the only one I would have taken in this. Because let's be honest, I don't think Holly, Jan, Meredith, Kelly, Angela. Or Carol might be. Carol could maybe.
Carol could be.
I could see Carol hooping. But the rest, I don't think so. I don't know.
No belief in Phyllis? She played best.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead with that.
Who do I want with my last pick? Who would mesh well with the current team? I know one man that would mesh well with everyone but Bob Vance on this team. But I'm not. I am concerned with his playing ability. But, given what else is on the board, screw it. We're going to pull the trigger and take Michael Gary Scott.
Wow.
Hopefully
the
we can have him.
manager.
Hopefully we can have him break out that prison Mike persona for some games. I feel like that'll be a more aggressive Michael Scott that we'll see out there on the court. I think it'll be very good.
I'm not gonna lie.
Michael
I really
Scott?
was hoping you would take him, but earlier, because that would have impacted who my other bench spot was, and I might have to make another.
Let me tell you why I love this pick.
Change at the very end.
Gets along with Oscar, the GM, very well.
That's
Really good friends with David Wallace.
Okay.
Really good friends with Jim Halpert. D'Angelo Vickers, really good friends with. Kevin Malone, really good friends with. Bob Vance hates his guts. But you know what? We just won't put them on the court at the same time. It'll be fine. Pete, you never really met Michael Scott. I think they'll get along. And Broccoli Rob also never really met Michael Scott, but I feel like they'd get along as well. So I like the chemistry that we will have on this team with him.
Okay. Now I'm between two people.
I'll talk it out. I don't have any more picks.
In the end.
Yeah, talk it out.
Well, at the end, if it's okay with you, I would also like to have a free agent signing.
No.
And cut my first bench spot. Anyways.
Oh, he's already off of Mose. Not even a full round later. And Mose is just, I hate him now.
I don't hate him.
It's
a very
you are
tough-
not
okay.
cutting Mose. You made the choice.
Okay. I still have faith in that chemistry. Now, we're looking at a couple different people here for coach. Number one is Robert California, because I believe he actually has the people I have in mind.
I think he's a genius.
So
yeah,
that's where I think he'll be able to draw up some spectacular stuff.
Really nice tactics and everything as well.
Number two
Okay.
is actually Pam Beasley, which although might be a little bit interesting.
What is she gonna draw a mural of the plays she wants?
If you could stop insulting your number one draft pick's wife. Anyways, Pam read and learned the entire new scanner and copy machine for their office in a matter of a day. Think of what she can draw up for herself
After
after.
took her a whole day to. Never mind. No, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
And number three, although even more out there, is Creed Brian. For the sole reason of nobody ever knows what that man's thinking. Ever. So you can't prepare as defensively for what Creed will throw at you as an offense. But there is a clear choice here, and we're going to go with Robert California as our team's coach.
My one concern for you with Robert California is that
Gets along great with the G.
is that how will your team necessarily be able to comprehend what exactly he's saying? Because this man talks in riddles, and you only get 30 seconds in your timeout. So is he going to be able to, in 30 seconds, clearly state what he wants your team to accomplish?
Maybe not, but I think my team will then feel pressure to play above what they're expected to make up for the fact that they aren't quite sure what they should be doing out there.
Okay, that's my one concern. So a quick review of our teams at GM.
Joe Bennett.
Joe Bennett. And why do you like that pick?
Great management skills, as we've seen inside the office. It will apply to the court and with this team as a whole.
Okay. I have Oscar Martinez, accountant extraordinaire. He'll keep that salary cap nice and tight. That's what she said. We had to get one in on the Office episode.
I worry that your GM might be already making moves to get rid of Michael Scott, as they don't always
He did kiss him.
get along. Michael Scott has insulted
I
him
disagree
many
with
times.
that. In the end, they were very good friends. At coach, I have David Wallace, who I see. He's like the dad of this team, right? I think he'll get along great with all the players. He's a smart man. And he kind of reminds me, he kind of looks like he could be a former player. And we do know he did used to hoop. So,
Used to hoop.
it's another.
Just balled up back in the day. At coach, I have Robert California. I think he'll, although at times confusing, he'll find a way to really rally this team and get them out there to do what they need to do and play above their talent.
Okay. Point guard, I got Jim Halpert, who I think was the clear best player in this draft and will ultimately be what puts me over the top. And you got Karen.
I do have Karen. And here's the only thing I felt like could have countered Jim in the time.
The
Because
mental
Pam,
game.
he would have been all cutesy, but still find a way to beat Pam.
Sure.
Karen gets in his
Are you
head
saying Jim beats Pam?
on the court,
Okay.
not in the bedroom.
Good.
Anyways, Karen will be in Jim's head whether he realizes it or not. He won't be ready for what comes, and it was the only move I saw that could really, truly have an impact on the first clear overall selection of the draft.
It's a long shot that you took with that, but I think it could pan out. I do like your thought process there. Trust it. At shooting guard, I have D'Angelo Vickers. Very patriotic guy. He's fearless. Loves basketball. Got a good shot on a mini net. I think that'll translate to a big net.
Now, because of this switch we're planning on playing in here, I have Andy Bernard. Was one of my weaker picks. However, I have faith in Andy. He's a great morale guy for this team. We'll find ways to rally him, get everybody involved in the team chants / songs. We'll take that team positivity out onto the court. Maybe make some plays that people aren't expecting out there.
Okay. Small forward. I have Pete Miller, given the changes. You know what? I'll just do this right now, just so we don't get confused. Let's do that. So I have Pete Miller. I think this guy's oozing with potential.
The new gym, some might say.
The new Jim, some might say, and hopefully he can turn into another Jim, and then I'll have
Hopefully
two
not.
superstars on this team.
Okay, well, I have Charles Minor, and if
That
you
does
wanna-
scare me.
You want to talk about somebody who will put him in his place fast and make him realize he does not have as much potential as he thinks is Charles Minor. He will go out there, he will show him up on the court, he will get in his head with the mental game, he will talk trash.
And he's the sexiest man alive,
He is.
apparently. Although
If you don't think that's a fan favorite pick, you're wrong.
I just question that he's more of a soccer guy than a basketball guy.
No,
I think that might play a role.
He's a multi-sport athlete.
Power forward, I have Kevin Malone, who has shown he's the kind of power forward. He's like your Kristaps Porzingis or your Karl Anthony Towns, maybe, where
Really?
he's got some range. He can shoot threes. He's gonna spread the floor. And
Kevin
he's also
Malone, Karl Anthony Towns.
and he's also that's right, you heard it here first. And he's also a nice, so he's a floor spacer, and I like his size. I think he'll be able to box out, grab some rebounds because he's a larger guy.
Okay, I see it. I question the hustle back and forth.
I do as well.
But we'll see how that plays
David
out.
Wallace will get him in shape.
Now, power forward, I have none other than Daryl Philbin, and I'm not gonna lie, this small forward power forward combo, that's what we're gonna need to exploit in our head-to-head games here if my team is going to stand a chance. as long as we can really limit Jim. But overall, I really like the pick of Daryl here. He is the strongest member of this team, and I'm going to need him to carry them, especially exploit that one-on-one matchup versus Kevin.
That Daryl Kevin matchup would
Towns.
actually be really entertaining, and I'd love to see that for sure. Center position, I have Advanced Refrigeration. Just a veteran guy, smart man, knows the game well, and a big body that will be able to box out.
Center, I have Roy Anderson. We saw in his one-on-one matchups with Jim that he's not afraid to be physical. He will box out.
We'll get a lot of technical fouls, maybe.
He might get technicals. However, I think the people he's lined up with in these situations are big enough that they won't be flopping. So
that's fair.
So I think he'll do well here.
Okay. And then lastly, the bench, I have Michael Scott and Broccoli Rob rounding out my team. Both of which questionable on-court skills, but I think really good locker room guys. I think Michael Scott is a bit underrated. He
is a solid performer.
He can make some plays. Broccoli Rob really just on the team for some shigs.
That's fair. In my 2 bench spots, I have the family duo of Dwight and Mose Schrute. The man runs with a car for training.
Oh my god.
They've been feasting on that beet farm. They will be ready. They will be energized. And as you typically are bringing in both at the same time, the chemistry on the court is going to be unmatched by any other duo here on either team, I think. The talent might not be there yet. Our coach is going to whip them into shape. The chemistry is already there.
All right, well, there you have it. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. Let us know if you want us to do more of this type of stuff.
Absolutely. Hockey is next. You let us know what characters or what show you want to use.
There you go. You heard it first.
Now,
hockey up next.
I want to note.
Yes.
Toby was going to be my bench pick just to get in Michael Scott's head the minute that you picked Michael Scott.
I feel like that would only have motivated him. I wish he would have done that.
I think it would draw a lot of technicals.
Maybe.
Both
maybe verbal.
Physicality and verbal.
A lot of verbal
if they line up one-on-one.
Yeah.
But with that, thank you for tuning into TopCheddar Sports. Own the Beer League Bench Talk.
And let us know which team you like more. Let us know who you think would win this matchup. Because I like to think here comes trouble with David.
I like to think that Golden Face could put up more of a fight than people are thinking right now. We're clearly the fan favorite. Will we win on the court? Thanks for tuning into TopCheddar Sports.
Let us know.